It's late in the evening, somewhere deep inside the FBI Academy in Quantico, Virginia. Down a quiet hallway, past classrooms and training rooms, there's a secured wing few civilians ever get to see. Inside those rooms sits a database, quiet, cold, unfeeling. A database filled with horrors, unidentified bodies, facial reconstructions that don't look quite human, grainy motel room photographs, discarded clothing soaked in mud and time, and thousands of cases that have never been solved. Each one a life, each one a mystery, each one waiting silently for someone to remember they even existed. Tonight, we're opening that door. This is Horrors from an FBI Database. Before the internet, before DNA labs, before digital fingerprints, investigators had almost nothing to work with when a body turned up without a name. And every time that happened, something strange would occur. The person would simply vanish, not physically, but in a deeper, more unsettling way. Without a name, the world erases you. Families search forever, cases gather dust, and the dead wait for a story no one ever tells. But in 1985, the FBI created something new, a massive national database designed to connect crimes, link killers, track patterns, and identify the lost. They called it ViCAP, the Violent Criminal Apprehension Program. For law enforcement, it's a tool. For everyone else, it's nightmare fuel. Tonight, we're stepping inside that archive and exploring some of the most disturbing real cases hidden within it. Case 1, the woman with no face. In 1990, hikers in Southern California discovered something strange on a remote hillside. At first, they thought it was a mannequin. Then they realized the truth. It was a woman, or what was left of one. Her face was severely decomposed. Her clothing was torn. Her body had been left in the open for weeks. But the detail that stuck with investigators, and what later made her case infamous inside ViCAP, was this. The only recognizable feature was her hair. 2 long braids, neatly woven, untouched by time. Detectives believed she wore them that way her entire life. The press called her the woman with braided hair. The FBI entered every detail they could extract. Age 25 to 35, possibly Native American. A unique dental pattern, a silver-colored ring shaped like a leaf, found in an unnatural position, as if placed deliberately. They posted facial reconstructions years later. Many people thought the images were AI-generated horror art. Others insisted they were too uncanny to be real. But they were real. She was real. And to this day, nobody knows who she is. Case 2, the body in the blue suitcase. One of the most haunting ViCAP entries doesn't include a body at all, only a suitcase. In 2001, a fisherman near Galveston, Texas, spotted luggage washed up on a shore. Inside was a collection of clothing, a blue children's dress, a pair of tiny socks, a woman's blouse, a tattered blanket, and a single lock of hair. But no bodies, no names, no story. The FBI classified it as a potential homicide involving multiple victims, possibly a mother and child. The disturbing part? The items were perfectly folded. Someone had taken great care packing that suitcase, almost tenderly, as if this was the last act of love they could give. The case remains open after more than 2 decades, and the suitcase remains one of the eeriest artifacts in the entire database, a crime scene washed ashore like a message from the dead. Case 3, the mummified man in the desert. ViCAP includes cases where bodies have been reduced to nearly nothing, sun-bleached bones, fragments, and in one case, something else entirely. Nevada, 1994. A group of dirt bikers found what they thought was a dried animal carcass, but when police arrived, the truth became clear. It was a human man, mummified by desert heat. He wore a faded Los Angeles Dodgers jacket from 1987. His teeth showed signs of expensive dental work. His shoes were high-end, and he had an old healed break in his left forearm, the kind seen in people who learn to box. But the strangest detail was in his pocket. $8 in coins, all minted the same year, 1989. Nobody knows who he was, why he was there, or who left him sitting upright against a rock as though posing him. To this day, his ViCAP reconstruction looks unsettlingly real, almost alive. Case 4, the girl in the pipe. Some cases are so disturbing that even veteran agents avoid reading the reports. This is one of them. In 2012, utility workers in rural North Carolina were clearing an old drainage system when they found what looked like fabric blocking one of the pipes. When they pulled it out, they found the remains of a young girl, 7 to 10 years old, wearing a pink shirt with a cartoon frog, clutching a stuffed bear. The bear had survived longer than she did. Her case was loaded into ViCAP with no name, no missing child report, and no leads. The public version of the case only shows the stuffed bear because the child's remains were too damaged to photograph. That single image has haunted viewers for years because sometimes the objects left behind scream louder than the body itself. Case 5, the motel room. This case stands out because it contains an actual photograph, one that feels wrong the moment you see it. In 1999, a cleaning lady at a cheap motel off Interstate 70 in Ohio opened a room scheduled for checkout. The bed was made, the remote was placed neatly on the pillow, the air conditioning was running, the bathroom light was on. Everything was normal, except the guest was gone, and so was the carpet under the bed. Someone had cut a perfect rectangle around the bed legs, rolled up the blood-soaked carpet, and taken it with them. The FBI found no fingerprints, no ID, no body, nothing except a room that felt erased. The ViCAP listing contains only 2 images, the empty room and a single shoe left behind. Many agents believe the shoe was left as a message, but no one knows what that message meant. Case 6, the child on the highway. Some cases imprint themselves onto investigators forever. Florida, 1988. A truck driver called police after seeing what he thought was a doll on an exit ramp. When officers arrived, they realized the horrifying truth. It wasn't a doll. It was a child. A girl between 4 and 5 years old. Her clothes were brand new. Her shoes were spotless. Her hair was braided like she was on her way to school. But her socks were reversed, inside out, a tiny detail, but one that made the case feel unbearably human. She was entered into ViCAP, reconstructed, broadcast across the nation, but nobody ever came forward. Not a single missing child report matched her. She belonged to no one, even in death. Case 7, the Gallery of Faces. The public version of ViCAP displays rows of faces, digital reconstructions, clay models, sketches, and composites built from fragments. Many of them fall deep into the uncanny valley. Their eyes seem to follow you. Their expressions almost shift. Their skin looks too real, yet not real enough. People describe the same unsettling feeling while scrolling. It feels like they're waiting for you to recognize them. One reconstruction, a woman with a faint, peaceful smile, has become famous online because viewers swear she looks like she's about to speak, but she never will. Case 8. The dark side of the database. ViCAP was created to identify victims and link serial crimes. But over time, it became something else. A digital graveyard for the forgotten. Bodies reduced to case numbers. Stories reduced to a single sentence. People who slipped through cracks in society. Many were never reported missing, which means ViCAP is the only place they exist at all. A cold, clinical mausoleum of lives the world moved on from. Case 9. The Boy in the Chimney. There is one ViCAP case that longtime agents mention whenever asked which one haunts them the most. The Boy in the Chimney. Colorado, 1993. A maintenance worker at a closed restaurant noticed a strange smell coming from an old chimney. When investigators opened it, they found the body of a young boy, 12 to 14 years old, placed there intentionally. His arms were folded across his chest, his head tilted gently to the side. No struggle, no broken bones. And on his wrist was a handmade bracelet woven with blue string, the kind of bracelet a child makes for a friend. No one has ever identified him. No one has ever explained why he was placed there. His ViCAP entry simply reads, "Unidentified male, found inside chimney. Homicide suspected. A child hidden away in the dark, waiting for someone to know his name." Thousands of these cases exist. Not fiction, not creepypasta, not internet legends. Real people, real lives, real endings. Each one reduced to a reconstruction, a photo, a file, a silent plea for someone to remember them. We spend so much time searching for horror in ghosts, monsters, shadows, but the darkest things humanity has ever created aren't hidden in haunted houses or abandoned buildings. They're in government databases, cold case folders, evidence rooms, places built not for fear, but for facts. And maybe that's why they're so terrifying. Because nothing in ViCAP is trying to scare you. It's just waiting for someone to look, care, and remember.